Hi, this is Daniel Ryan coming to you from the Yucca Theater here in downtown Midland, Texas, and this is Odessa After Dark. On this episode of Odessa After Dark, we do an in-depth story about Bessie Love, who was born in Midland, Texas on September 10, 1898.
Bessie was born as Juanita Horton, and her parents were John Cross Horton and Emma Jane Savage. According to records, her dad was born in San Marcos, Texas, and her mom was born in Kansas. They eventually moved west, and by 1913, they were living in Los Angeles.
According to an article, she and Mrs. Delano, who roomed at the Horton home with her butcher husband, walked past the guards and secretaries to meet the great D.W. Griffith himself, and were invited to return that afternoon to be extras in his monumental epic Intolerance. Juanita, then 16, and the butcher's wife didn't dare leave the set for lunch for fear of not getting back in. So it was on an empty stomach that Bessie Love played a Babylonian slave at the feet of Nebuchadnezzar.
Griffith biographers say that when the autocratic film giant questioned her on her reasons for wanting an entertainment career, she replied that her family was poor, she needed a job during school vacation, and Mama said I wasn't trained to do anything, so there was nothing left for me but acting. Griffith renamed her Bessie Love because nobody east of the Rockies knows how to pronounce Juanita. The success of his 1915 film made her an overnight star.
Her first role of importance was in The Flying Torpedo. She later appeared opposite William S. Hart in The Aryan, and with Douglas Fairbanks in The Good, Bad Man. Reggie mixes in, and The Mystery of the Leaping Fish. Here's some scenes of Bessie Love in one of her first early movies, the 1960 silent The Mystery of the Leaping Fish, opposite Douglas Fairbanks. What's interesting about this, the 100-year-old movie, bills itself as a cocaine classic, so times have sure changed. According to a 1918 article, Juanita, who is the daughter of a doctor way down in Texas, she was born in 1898 and 3 years ago was an extra girl with Triangle at $5 a day. Now she heads her own company at the Pathé Studio, and goodness knows how many real regular dollars she receives each week. She's one of the large army of young women who have at different times appeared as leading women for Douglas Fairbanks. Her fame continued to grow, and in 1925 she appeared in The Lost World, and we found this article about her career.
The Bessie Love today is a young woman who takes her art seriously. She has learned to register emotion, without the tearings of hair and running to and fro, but with subtle changes of expression and simple, sincere acting that ensure her audience of intelligent handling of any role entrusted to her. She is not beautiful, but has brains and brilliant, expressive brown eyes.
And if you've been watching her work, you must have noticed the dissimilar roles she assumes. Do you recall the pathetic picture she made as a drug addict in Mrs. Wallace Reed's Human Wreckage? Then picture her as the irresistible village Bello in Booth Tarkington's gentle Julia. And from Julia is a far cry to the cowed wife of an underworld crook and thug, as in Those Who Dance, with Blanche Sweet. Her latest work with Glenn Hunter in The Silent Watcher is another proof that Bessie is no amateur or blunder when it comes to her emotional telling. Just now, she is hobnobbing with dinosaurs, Allosaurus, and other prehistoric monsters in the jungle of Conan Doyle's Lost World for First National.
Now let's take a moment to see some of the scenes from Lost World.
Love married agent William Hawks at St. James Episcopal Church in Pasadena, California on December 27, 1929. Mary Astor, William's sister-in-law, Caramel Myers, and Norman Shearer were among her bridesmaids. William's brother Howard Hawks and Irving Thalberg ushered. They lived then at Havenhurst Apartments in Hollywood. They had a daughter, Patricia Hawks, who was born on February 19, 1932 in Los Angeles, California. They divorced in 1936.
As her roles got larger, so did her popularity. Because of her performance in The King on Main Street, Love is credited with being the first person to dance the Charleston on film, popularizing it in the United States. Her techniques were documented in instructional guides.
Bessie was one of the few actresses who was able to make the transition from silent films to talkies. Actually, her biggest role of ever came in the 1929 movie Broadway Melody, where she was nominated for an Academy Award. This was the first all-music movie and the first musical to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. She starred in the movie with Charles King and Anita Page, and it was a story about a love triangle, two sisters in love with the same man who both want to break into show business. So it was a perfect vehicle for Bessie.
Million hearts beat quicker there. No skies are gray on the great white way. That's the Broadway melody. Let's move back to the table, kids. We'll do our dance. You all ready, Phil? Come on, now let's go. Here we are. Sweetie, why don't you look at my feet? Look ahead.
Bessie continued to act through the 40s, 50s, and 60s, even marveling in television. Some of her last movies were Reds, Ragtime, and a movie called The Ritz, which was quite revolutionary at the time, where she played a bookkeeper in a bathhouse. Miss Love passed away at the age of 87 on April 26, 1987, in London, England. Here we pay tribute to her in these final pictures, and remember, a star like this was born here in Midland, Texas.
Hello, Eddie.
Hello, kids. Hello,
Eddie.
Queenie.
Hey, you know, we had a tough time getting in. When do we show the act?
In a few minutes. I haven't had a chance to talk to Zanfields yet.
Well, it's okay, ain't it? We're in, ain't we?
Sure, it's in the bag. Whatever I say goes. Hey, Kern! Yes, sir. Listen, stick around. We don't want to take you all afternoon except one dance. Yes, sir.
Say, maybe we better get undressed. Come on.